Hi there, my name is Nicholas, CMO and growth lover at Uptrusts. You're listening to Rocket Talks. This is the podcast where I talk to marketing leaders and growth experts to fuel your next marketing campaign. Hi everyone, and welcome to a next episode of Growth Talks. Today I'm here with Bart with NCOI, and we're going to talk about some very interesting things about how he changed his team from more traditional way of marketing to performance-based. And we're going to talk about a topic that's very, very relevant to me about educating your workforce, about making sure that they keep on getting smarter. Bart, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe for the people that are watching and listening, can you maybe quickly introduce yourself, who you are, your background, a bit like that?
Okay, I'm Bart Cuylaerts and I'm worked for 15 years.
What are you doing now with NCOI Learning? Because I saw on your LinkedIn that you're leading a team at the moment of more of like an e-commerce kind of team. How does that work?
Yeah, the team is especially focused on campaigning. First focus on e-commerce as well as branding and general communication. So it's really a broad marketing activity that we're responsible for. We did move from a more traditional way to now a more performance way of marketing by turning around the processes, which are now more KPI based and skilling profiles more towards e-commerce and KPI-driven way of working. Okay,
you already said a lot of things that I want to pick onto, but maybe the first thing, like for the people listening, what is NCOI Learning?
NCOI Learning ensures lifelong learning for professionals, and it does so by offering the widest range of education for white-collar professionals due to a vast network of professional trainers.
And just to give an idea of how big NCOI is, how many people do you guys train per year? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, sure. We train around 25,000 people a year.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I actually gave last year my first trainings at NCOI as well. So it was nice. It's also a good way for us to meet other kind of companies that we would otherwise not see. So for us service providers, it's also nice to work together with you guys. First, I want to talk maybe a bit about how you changed that marketing organization, because that's something that's, when I come into a lot of organizations that are around for many, many years, they're used to do things in the traditional way. They're used to maybe just kind of look at impressions, kind of look at, I want to make sure that people know that we exist, getting that awareness out. But what you say is super valuable. You want to make sure that people don't just know that NCOI exists, but you want to make sure that they buy your courses, that they maybe come back, that they not just do one, but then do like a second one and a third one as well. You mentioned a lot of interesting things there, that you're focusing now more performance-based, focusing now more of these metrics. How did you change that mindset of your team to go more data-driven, to go more looking at those metrics? What did you do there?
I think that the most important thing is to build up that story and take them on this journey, which is now going on for 2.5 years. Where there were people in the team coming from jobs like marketing assistants or general coordinator jobs, and had a lot of conversational about deliverables mainly. My campaign is live.
And then it was done for them.
And then it was done. So that was a bit of the mindset. Or we build up a congress for a specific event, etc. While now we have a kind of pitch structure where everyone pitches their new campaign with clear goals and KPIs on what they want to achieve with their campaign. It's more also collaborative with agencies that help us with our media plans, etc. And we're continuously talking about how we progressing towards the KPI, small incremental improvements that we try to do on channels, but also on landing pages, etc. And it's just leading by example, drawing out these new processes, which I did, educate them, and then week after week after week, moving forward in this new structure.
Wow, this is interesting. So do I get it right that you have that, we would call it in growth marketing, the one metric that matters, that you have this big audacious goal that you say like, this year we want to get 30,000 people, for example, that follow a training. And then everyone within the organization, they can, based on that one big goal that you want to achieve, come up with like an experiment, as we would call it in growth marketing terms. We want to do this. This is what we're going to measure. This is how it's going to impact our OMTM. This is how we want to do that. And then submit that to you guys. Is that how it then works, or? I'm trying to translate it to my world.
To some extent. I think what is the most important thing is rather than having, let's say, one goal, there is of course one goal, which is the EBIT goal that we have. We try to build up also in KPIs and goals in incremental chunks, meaning that people say, okay, I want to have a specific campaign or marketing activity, and you build a small business case around it. A mini goal. And then that goal is of course assessed towards, let's say, the main goal. Does it have enough ambition, etc. But you're always going with your integrated campaign to a small goal that you proposed up front. So you don't go towards the big goal, which is there only at the end of the year. So small goals and small packages of delivery towards those goals.
Okay, interesting. Can you give some examples?
For example, it's just like a regular campaign where we want to do something towards a specific audience. For example, HR professionals. And we have made a specific empathy map to assess what is going on in the world of the HR professionals. And then we built a campaign which will go up for 3 months to acquire as much training subscriptions from them, as well as their gateway role, because they're also influencing others to follow trainings. And due that period of 3 months, we continuously improve on channels, channel performance, creatives, etc. And then you come towards the more, generic growth tactics that we do. And afterwards, the campaign is redone or not, whether or not we feel it's fully optimized, and then we can retake it, or we set up a new campaign. We only do new campaigns if KPIs show that it's totally wore off.
Okay. Again, I already have a lot of questions. So what would be then, for this campaign, what would be then one of the goals that then would be set? Is it then just like, we want to reach 10,000 HR professionals, or do you go deeper and say like, no, we want now 5,000 people that subscribe thanks to this campaign? Like, how specific do you make this?
Mostly it's online sales.
Online sales. So you really go up till the conversion.
Yeah, exact. So it will be, let's say, X thousand euros in online sales coming from that campaign. Exact.
Okay, nice. And how easy is it for you to track that and attribute specific revenue towards campaigns? Because what I would assume, that's in a lot of B2B businesses, is that people need multiple touch points, right? So that they see probably an ad from that they're targeted or an email, they talk about that, then they talk to their boss about that, they go to the website, they buy something. How easy or how difficult is that attribution and tracking issue for you?
It's challenging, but I think the symptoms are there. Meaning we have seen data that people go from awareness, that's interesting, towards conversion in 15 work days. So that's what we know about, let's say, an average training. When you go up to more high value tickets, it's increasing. When you go to our new MBA, that would be months in the making. If it goes for a webinar, maybe it's one day.
And how do you do the attribution? Do you do more of like an account-based marketing approach where you say, we're going to target these HR professionals that work at these companies, and if then sales are coming from these companies, we attribute this to this campaign? Or how do you tackle that?
So we have the normal build-up where you just see from ecosystems perspective what pixel conversions are. And then we've built a ROAS model, not on the campaign, but on the target audience. So we can see within a time frame what a target audiences have purchased in a specific portfolio. And then we assess mostly performance in terms of cost sales effectiveness.
Interesting.
And that is the end validation of, is this a good campaign or not? So, because we're running, let's say, 9 up to 10 campaigns in simultaneously. And we then look at the horses and see, okay, how is ROAS evolving for, let's say, a campaign on leadership, a campaign on HR professionals, etc. And those
That's really interesting.
Perform less. So I think in the end, it's not really about the channel, because it's a messy middle. It's all a mix everyone
so happy
attributes.
You say that. Yeah.
So it's more about you invested X euro as a cost, as an investment. You had a clear goal. How is that towards that goal in terms of return?
Yeah, I really love what you're saying there. And I think that's also something in the marketing attribution conversation that's changing, where you had to be able to measure every touch point and see like, okay, it's immediately attributable to that. But what you say, I 100% agree. We go for that specific target audience. We want to reach that. We know that we need multiple touch points. We know that we need to influence them in multiple ways. And then we're just going to calculate our ROAS at the end. Mm-hmm. We're just going to see, did this impact? Exactly. Did this actually generate more sales? So I really love that you guys are doing it like
that. And the
this.
middle KPIs for the buyers. That's more.
What do you mean the middle KPIs for the buyer?
Yeah, let's say reach or impressions, etc. From a buyer's perspective, such let's say hippie KPIs make more sense. Let's see our click-through rate. Good to see the wear-off effect of a certain creative, but in the end, the money needs to bring.
Exactly. So I guess that's within that big campaign that you just said. You said that we're doing little experiments along the way to optimize channel performance, to optimize these kind of things. I guess then you look at those specific metrics, right?
Sure,
then you're optimizing conversion rate, you're optimizing click-through rate. So you're still doing that and then experimenting.
That's more, I think, there's shared ownership of who looks at certain KPIs. But then again, for example, from a buying perspective, the agency could suggest new creatives, which is a normal way of working. But we have built specific dashboards, bringing all these ecosystems, such as Google Analytics, Facebook, all the media, etc., together to have a more integrated view. Nice. I think that's the key challenge, to have a good conversation with someone who has a partial view with their KPIs, and mapping together with business relevant KPIs, and having that conversation on does it really work or not? Because you can have a lot of, let's say, sub KPIs performing but in the end not bringing that the goal.
I completely agree with everything you're saying here. Do you inform everyone from your team about the performance of everything? Like what I'm saying is, you have those dashboards where then, if someone is a Facebook ads expert, he's only looking at click-through rates, but what you're saying is that, it actually needs to impact business as well. Do you have these kind of growth meetings where everyone from your team is there and you say, okay, guys, we done this campaign, it's going well because we see an impact on this and this and this and this. Is this something that you're extremely transparent with your team so that it helps you to align them and do the right things?
So at NCOI, we have this day starts. And this campaign steerco where you pitch your campaign. But before we start, all parties involved share their results from their ongoing campaign. So all peers can also give feedback on what's running, what's not, how to improve. And we have the same with the agency, also together with them. The campaign producers now in this moment, so the people who really execute the campaign non-media, they're really not up to speed yet in terms of KPI, etc. We do have an analyst still, but we're moving towards, and then it's on your topic as well, on educating, on building up that analytics capabilities in all parties involved. So everybody can have a sense of what do I bring to the table in terms of numbers. And there's still a growth path there.
All right, nice. I love the segue you made to the training part. So if I hear that this kind of transformation that people went through, you give them also a lot of responsibility to come up with these ideas. And to be able to come up with these ideas, I guess they need to know what's out there. They need to know what are the possibilities on the platforms, what can we actually do in digital marketing. How do you invest yourself in your team? How do you make sure that your team stays up to date? And do you think that's an important one, to keep investing in your team? I guess this is very easy.
That's an open goal. So NCOI learning ensures lifelong learning for professionals. So we eat our own product.
Yes, of course.
So what we do for sure is everybody has time to learn. We make time for them. They can learn from just the stand-ups and the steerco and sharing and pitching to each other, to maybe classical education, webinars on digital marketing, or specific needs that you have. But in the end, I'm also a lot involved still in what they do, trying to coach them on how to draw the perfect campaign, what to try, what do we have. So I try to educate them myself as well. And we hired a great senior e-commerce analyst to help coaching the team. And that's, I think, how we make the biggest jump. Okay. So next to the boss, having an e-commerce analyst specialist who is really involved in coaching. So they have, let's say, a talking hour on specific data points which you want to ask until all parties involved do already have dashboards and can go in themselves. But if you're at some point at a specific level still, then you can still consult the analyst for more help.
And it's also kind of in his job description or what you require from him that he coaches the other people.
And all job descriptions are also rewritten in this new organization where there is more assistance towards each other in terms of data sharing and not also do the big analysis and offer it. No, show them the path on how to do it and then for us to see if the tools are there.
Okay, interesting. If people are running a growth team or a marketing team, 6, 7 people, a bit like your team, I guess it's also around 7-ish people. How much time do you think that they should spend on learning? Because what I see in digital marketing is that it's a field that's evolving very, very quickly. Now with generative AI, all the stuff that's coming there, all the changes that are happening with third-party cookies, how Meta is changing its targeting. I feel if you're a year or 2 years out of upskilling yourself in these platforms and in everything that's happening in marketing, you're almost out of the game. So how do you look at that? What should be an ideal mix, or what should be the time that people should spend on educating themselves and becoming better?
I think it's less about time and more about attitude and safety. So it's more about take something which you see, try it, fail fast, then give a feedback on what you tried, what did work, what didn't work, and for other people to do the same and start this environment of safety for testing, safety for failing, and sharing your successes, etc. along the way. Then you really don't need anything. You just need to feel safe to try something. And I think that's the culture we try to build up at NCOI Learning. Okay, let's try X again. Yeah, but it didn't work. Maybe it works now. Does it bring something? Okay, then we just share. I think
that's something where a lot of companies can learn something from. But then the question that I often get is that, I want my junior people or people that are learning a skill to try this out, but I'm also afraid of it hurting my brand. How do you tackle that? How do you create that safe environment where they can experiment as much as they want without hurting your brand? Or is it something that you just shouldn't care that much about?
Actually, it's a very good point because there's something in the middle, of course. At some point was in the process of approving every campaign and everything that we've done to see that I myself as a bottleneck. So what I try to do is have an open field, playing rules, style guide, the brand is there. But if you mandate people to do something, at some point something will go wrong. Then it's again about openness, safety, and talk about, okay, look, this is something that you can do with the brand and not, you can experiment as much with a brand or any activity than just with digital marketing. And that's something now, sometimes there are campaigns going live, which in hindsight was not to what I found 100%. But okay, it's then changed along the way to a better performing and more in line with the brand guide.
So am I right that you're kind of creating a sandbox for your people with like these guidelines? If you play within this sandbox, you can build whatever you want. You can just do fun things. And afterwards, we will analyze and see what you've built and give you some feedback and make sure it's...
Continuously. But I think in the end, that should be, for me, the goal of the manager would be, let's say, everybody feels safe and empowerment. Let's say 2 people of my team don't have budget responsibility. The rest all have their budget responsibility for the things they try to do. So there is almost total freedom as long as you keep on sharing what's happening. So that everything works also without me. I can give some extra feedback in the direction, and there is this vision towards where we're going. But at the end, it's up to the players.
Really nice, really good. Now some more digital marketing, other kind of questions. Like I want to know, what is at the moment your favorite marketing platform? to attract good leads or whatever? What is your favorite one?
Can I tell you what's not my favorite?
Yeah, please.
What I found was a bit hyped for me was Performance Max.
Yeah?
We give it a shot. We will still keep on trying it, but I think it was, also in last Google Talks, you heard the word so much.
Oh yeah, they're hyping it so much.
So I feel that it's called Performance Max, you see. I don't think it's already there to its full potential. I'm not sure if we will keep on moving towards that. Facebook for us, gives something, but again, these are really performance flat channels. The thing I'm now more excited about is this channel.
Can you explain what you mean with performance flat channels?
Yeah, that's the whole discussion on how to bring brand and performance together. Mm-hmm. You can't build sales alone. Coming from an e-commerce path, took me a long way to realize, but with paid search. You need something on the up funnel to build attractiveness, etc. And these search of channels, they show something in terms of pixel conversion, but sometimes it has a much longer path towards conversion. So it's sometimes a bit fuzzy what upper funnel media does for you.
But you still believe in Facebook and Meta for B2B brands to sell their stuff?
Not for all B2B brands. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's like a blueprint, but for us, Facebook works. Yeah. That's something we see for certain audiences. Yeah. Like, let's say, supporting professionals. Then again, going to LinkedIn, it didn't deliver as much as I thought in our business. Yeah. For people managers, yes. HR professionals, yes. For then the supporting audiences, not that much.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So what you're saying is definitely don't forget about Facebook and Meta, because they will influence your upper funnel metrics. They will make sure that the right people will see it. I have a lot of B2B people that tell me, I just want to advertise on LinkedIn and I don't want to spend money on Meta. But
I wouldn't do it.
No. One, it's cheaper to advertise there. And the second thing, these people also sit in the couch in the evening or sit on the toilet and they're scrolling the feeds.
I think that's one of the main challenges is that you don't emphasize enough with your audience. They're people. Huh? They also go to the restroom with their iPhone on Facebook.
Of course, 100%.
That's also a place that they can think about orientations of training. As absurd as it might seem, or they take public transport, etc., etc. So you need to be in the mix, and the mix is not one channel.
No, 100%. And you said that LinkedIn was not really that was not really working for you guys.
I feel that what the most difficult part on LinkedIn now for me, maybe I can learn something from Optrus, but you're not able to track your sales value via LinkedIn campaigns, which is horrible. So you can only track conversions. So we looked at an in-between with an average order value to have a workaround. But I feel that really is a missing part. Then you can only put it somewhere in terms of testing, but really don't...
Because you want to do a ROAS-based...
Exact. And for LinkedIn, we feel that it's more about awareness rather than performance. It's not really performing well in performance.
And are you using LinkedIn as well to do like lead generation, to push like your brochures and...
Lesser.
Why not?
Because we just tried it and from a customer journey it doesn't make sense at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I would really not recommend it.
Okay, explain more, that's interesting.
I'm always making the relation between private life and meeting someone for the first time. When meeting someone the first time, you don't ask too many of them at the first step.
Exactly.
So let's say for our MBA, we have a brochure. It doesn't make sense to download a brochure if you do not orient to some sort on the website on what it's about. Then you have a lot of leads, great for the agency or maybe someone, but they're not qualitative. Okay. So there needs to have some kind of lead nurturing path towards downloading that brochure. Yeah. So moving it up to the front is only good for the people who are already in market. Mm-hmm. And I don't want those. I want only the people who are already informed and know why they should choose for our product.
What I love doing is, and we can maybe put the visual right here, is that I like to put top of the funnel a video ads to make sure that people orient with that thing, that they feel connected with that thing, talk about the pains, the problems, whatever. And then I like to retarget people that watch like half of the video or 30 seconds of the video and retarget them with the downloadable. That's
super.
That's where I would put that brochure, for example.
That is super.
Because I feel like there it has a place in the funnel.
Yeah, exact. In the moment when you're remarketing and you already build up a story, then it's super, of course. But going in the prospecting phase with a download brochure, I feel that's too...
And a lot of companies make that mistake. And they even go deeper in the mistake. We're now talking about, don't do the brochure, it's already marrying. But you would be surprised with how many people that do like book a meeting, start a trial, buy now. With that first contact.
That's
throwing away money. And try to get them interested, date a little bit, and then go to marry.
Exact. And I see that we also experiment with moving, let's say, a subscription to an info session before download brochure, and to see that, okay, there is no shortcut in the path. Say hello, phone number, first day, there is a build-up. Respect that in channels, but mostly in the conversation, in the call to actions, in the messaging. So it makes sense from a user journey kind of point of view.
Yeah, definitely. How important for you is collecting that data? Because what I'm like the funnel that I was talking about, you collect that data with the brochure. And then what I love doing is I like to take it to my own channels. Because I don't want to keep on paying Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, to keep on engaging that audience. I want to get that first-party data and then push it through emails and other channels. Is that also part of your strategy? Do you think it's important? Do you think that it will become even more important in the future? What is your vision on that?
I think it's vital. And having people to transact in your own brand, and I think that is the ideal situation. We now have a good performance always on layer in email, which performs super well. So the moment when you're in our database, we try to capture that data. Not that ideal yet in terms of lead capturing. So we convert most of our clients via email and then put those channels in place to attract new audience. But collecting data, I think that's most important.
Definitely.
In your own ecosystem as much as possible.
100%. And a trend that I see growing in the last years, and definitely this year is gonna grow even harder, is of course collecting that data, having those email addresses, but also building your own community around that. Is there any kind of community building that you guys are doing, that there is platforms where people love to come back to discover new things, that it's tailored to their interests? Is that also something that you're working on, or that you think is important to focus on?
But it's less digital or more traditional, as you might find. We have it in products, meaning that we offer a very successful day of the product manager yearly, which is a congress. And every respected project manager is there. And I think that's where a lot of this community feel is in the physical world, people coming together, having meaningful conversations around interesting topics. So we have also the day of the controller. So a lot of these key audiences that you have, we have some physical, happenings of bringing these people together. When it comes to maintaining that relation, then again, you're in our email layer, and the email layer provides you with continuous value of course, training calendars, but also personal takes from product managers on what is actual topic, what is super relevant now, and our offerings.
Nice, very interesting, very interesting. Maybe to round off this conversation, we're now mid-February of the new year. What are some things from last year that you experimented with that you will stop doing? What are some things that you experimented with the first time last year that you will continue doing? And what are some things this year that you saw popping up that you think, this is some new stuff that I want to experiment with?
I think in terms of moving forward is of course AI. So we already had a much more cost efficiency rate in terms of campaign production due to the use of Midjourney, where we built some campaigns from the ground up with AI rather than engaging with an agency.
Okay.
So that's something that we will continue doing.
And is that something that you trained your internal team on, that they started working with Midjourney, or how did that start? How did that happen?
Okay, so there was this opportunity called AI.
Oh, I heard about it.
No, but I think in terms of vision, what the manager should do at some point is what is at the end of the tunnel. And I think, I don't know about Uptrust, but we all need to grow our numbers with most of the time the same budget or budget which is shrinking or growing not as much as we want. So finding new ways to maximize your budget, I think that's something that AI can solve to some extent.
Yeah.
So that is the mission that I gave those people. I licensed Midjourney, and I asked that before there was a briefing towards an agency, the minimum that they should do is show me that they tried and built their own campaign.
With Midjourney?
With Midjourney. And some of them succeeded and other not. We captured all the prompts that we tried in a certain platform, and I think there were some great results.
Wow,
from
that's
that.
nice. That's good to hear.
So what I was a bit doubtful about is Performance Max.
Yeah.
I don't know how we will move forward with that. And we're going all out in terms of marketing automation.
Yeah.
So we're, I think, currently sending up to 20 emails a day from a manual production perspective, where we will automate at least 80% of what we're doing now. And I think AI will be strongly leveraged to maximize matchmaking between training your skills and the offers that we have. We have over 1,500 offers a year. To match that with the right person. I think there is for us the maximum that we can do. That's also already where we've put AI in place to, from all the data which we don't have, use data which we have to predict whether or not you are a specific audience or not. Ensure that you're activated in the correct way, rather than have this irrelevant marketing approach.
Yeah, I guess then you're also like capturing digital footprint. If people are then on your website checking out other programs, at the moment that the cookie was dropped, that you can track them, that this is already captured by the AI brain, and that...
I would say yes, we tried it. What we tried is, for example, like a recommendation engine, like a Criteo clone, if you will. But we stopped it because a lot of technologies, you also need a lot of volume in data. And because we are between these B2B and B2C environment, our volume is not much. We have a lot of trainings, but the audience is too limited in order for a good recommendation engine to work.
Okay.
So that's something that we tried in SEO, etc. But we stopped. Embedding behavioral signals in, like you suggested it, in email, especially something that we will do when we have our basics in place. And the basics is to already eliminate as much manual work as we do now.
Nice. That sounds very interesting. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you. Many interesting insights. I think a lot of people can learn something from the way that you manage your team, the freedom you give them. I really especially like that you have that big objective, but then people have these smaller goals where they can submit ideas themselves. They have time to play in a safe environment to test this out, teach each other what they learned, have people that are on the job being able to coach them. I think that's a really nice way that you've built there to grow your team. So thank you so much for sharing all your insights with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you all for listening to this podcast. We will share some links to NCOI below here in the show notes. So if you want to learn more about lifelong learning, then you can check out the link below. Thank you so much for watching, to listening, and feel free to share this with all your friends and colleagues and peers. Ciao, guys.
Thanks.